From New York to LA, you are on the red carpet.
So tonight is a very important day because we are launching Donor Direct Action, and I'm one of the beneficiary organizations. I come from an organization in Cape Town, South Africa, called Embrace Dignity. We work largely with issues around women's rights, and in particular violence against women, and it's not always easy to get funding for this kind of work, and Donor Direct Action helped us to profile our organization. They've got our organization on their website, and what this actually does is that it introduces us to philanthropists who may be looking for people like us to fund. And now we have somebody that knows us and can vouch for the kind of work that we do. We work directly with the beneficiaries, which is the women who are victims of sex trafficking. So the success that we have achieved so far is that we've been able to influence the law in South Africa so that it is more supportive of these women, but it also recognizes the harms that they experience. So that for us is a major success, but we realize that there's a lot more to do. There are many, many more women and girls who are vulnerable to sex trafficking. So our work is to use the voice of the survivors to educate the public about the experience, what it is like, and how to prevent it.
I've been invited here as a woman activist from Afghanistan. I'm representing an organization named Humanitarian Assistance for Women and Children of Afghanistan. I've been invited here by Womankind Worldwide and Donor Direct Action to represent my country and my organization, talk about women's rights and my country, the challenges that are there, and also the progresses that we had in the past. So I'll be talking in different events and sessions. This year and 2014 was really the bad years for Afghan women and for the activists. We had the deadliest year for Afghan journalists and for women. So the life at the moment is threatening for Afghan women, and especially for activists and the frontliners who are running programs for women. And we as women who are running protection centers for women, for us is more dangerous at the moment. It is threatening for activists, but we are taking the risk. We are struggling to change the situation of women. And we are fighting for women's rights. I thank them for their support in the past years as our partner, supporting our programs and protection center that we are running for women, to empower women economically and educate them, to give them a better life and future. So I really am thankful for Donor Direct for supporting us and inviting me here to represent my organization. The thing that gives me more motivation is that I see women who are resisting, who want to change, who are raising their voices, and they are no more the women who were in the past. Now they have learned and they know how to fight for themselves. So it's really is a good point about women of Afghanistan. They are very strong.
What we're doing is we're using technology to bring the front lines of the women's movement to anyone anywhere in the world who can log on to our website at donordirectaction.org and see what's happening in Somalia, in Syria, in Afghanistan. Find out more about the groups that are working on the front lines there to make a difference and support their work and really become a part of the movement to build equality around the world. We have been working with them for years. We know their work well. They're incredible groups. They deserve support. They'll use it to really make great change in a way that no one else can. And I think we want to share that with everyone. That's what Donor Direct Action is to link donors directly with action. And that's what we're hoping to do. Well, Jane Fonda and Gloria Steinem are longtime supporters and activists in the women's movement, and I think they completely understand the vision behind Donor Direct Action and the vision that all of these women on the front lines have. They know a lot of these women personally. Gloria, I've traveled with Gloria. I know Jane has traveled around the world and have met these women in their own countries and really seen firsthand the incredible work that they're doing to change their countries and to change the world. So I think that it's a natural for them, and it's wonderful for us to have their support. Our mission is to build the women's movement around the world by linking people in places where they couldn't normally go, like Afghanistan, Somalia, the Congo, to groups there that desperately need their help and support. And that link, I think, is an incredible connection for people. It means a lot to everyone. It means a lot to the Frontline women's groups, and it's a fabulous experience for the donors as well. And that's our goal, is to bring it all together. Good evening. I'm Jessica Newworth. And I want to welcome all of you, and I want to also thank the Ford Foundation and the Novo Foundation for their incredible support. Today, across the street at the UN, commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the Beijing World Conference on Women began. The platform for action that was adopted in Beijing is a wonderful document. It's a blueprint for gender equality. But as the UN itself has acknowledged in a recent report on implementation, progress has been unacceptably slow, and recognition of gender equality as a global priority has not translated into real change in the lives of women and girls. Well, why is that? When I look back over the past 20 years for real change, here's what I see. Lima Gabawi in Liberia, not at the negotiating table as envisioned by Resolution 1325, but outside surrounding the building with other women and refusing to let the men inside leave until they reached an agreement for peace. I see Hawa Adan Muhammad in Somalia, making sure that girls get the education and courage that they need to say no to FGM. I see Sapna Mala in Nepal, taking the promises of CEDAW and the Beijing Platform for Action to the courts and demanding that the laws of Nepal be changed to give women equal rights, to stop human trafficking, child marriage, and sexual violence. We started Donor Direct Action to support these women because they are the real agents of change. The UN acknowledges in its report on Beijing that the work of women's organizations has been the most critical factor in the implementation of gender equality policies. Again and again, we hear that women are the key to peace, that women are the key to development. Well, it's time to put the resources where the rhetoric is. The real agents of change need real funding to make the vision of Beijing a reality. Donor Direct Action makes it easy for anyone, anywhere, to find on our website some of the frontline women's organizations that are leading the charge, to learn more about them and to support their work. We have online donors already in more than 35 countries, and we've raised almost $1 million for our partners around the world. Maybe tonight, with your help, we will cross that $1 million line. I'm so glad that some of our partners are with us so that you can hear from them directly. And Hibak Osman from our steering committee will help me present them to you. Hibak is a brilliant leader and the founder and director of Karama, a network of women in the Arab world, all powerful agents of change. Hibak, why don't you come up and join me here?
Okay, Muna, Najah, and Oisi, can you please come up? We're going to humanize what really Donor Direct does. Think of three things. One is the rapid response, where when you call Donor Direct, they immediately respond to you. It's usually incredible women like Muna Ghanem from Syria, who you would think when you gave up on Syria, then you meet someone like her, and she's talking about constitution building and political participation. Isn't that crazy? Yes. And then, of course, Nweze from South Africa. When I first met her, she was the Deputy Defense Minister of South Africa. And years before that, she was underground. So now we are going to find out how the underground has helped her. And Najah, where is she? Incredible young leader from Afghanistan who is supporting incredible young leaders to survive life, really. Am I in control or you're in control?
I'm just watching.
Thank you. Okay, so you know what Donor Direct, of course, does. It's that rapid responsiveness. But if you are here to really look at women who are not powerful, who are not articulate, who are not leaders, and you are here to support women who are weak and meek, because we all know that, and you are waiting that these are the women who are going to be supported, who are going to be saved, by themselves, from you or donors, you are in the wrong place. These women are leaders in their own right, doing incredible job and sticking their necks out. You talk about ISIS, we're on first name basis with them, out of fear, you know. So Muna, they all know, you know, what all the organizations you are doing, the Syrian Platform for Peace, talk about Muna, the human being, and the human beings that you work with. What's so special about your incredible work? Microphone. Okay, sorry.
I think what was special in our work, especially in our partnership with Donor Direct Action, that we turn women from victims to empowered women to make the change. We have changed many women in a way that, for example, they come to the office just to sing. Now they are running a radio called the Syrian Women FM, where we are outreaching women from all the country. We are empowering women. We are educating women through this radio on the internet. Of course, this is one step towards reaching all the women in Syria and trying to help them to discover their talents and to know their inner soul, so that they cannot just stay as a victim in the war, rather than start to be the leading for the change in the country. I think the second thing I can mention here, if I have time, that Donor Direct Action has helped us to make our voices heard, especially around the political change in Syria, especially in Geneva too, where we were able to reach more than 6,000 women and ask them what they really wanted from Geneva too.
That is when we talk about risk-taking. Donor Direct, just think of them as risk-taking. When they supported Muna, they met Muna, they immediately supported what Muna needed. So there are three ways. One is to support them, what the work they are already doing for women's rights, and the other thing is to get that voice and amplify it in the international community. And today, you know, we were at the UN with, you know, ministers and other important people, basically to say this is how we want to influence the peace process that's going on in Syria. Thank you. Thank you. What was the most devastating thing you saw in your work?
Devastating, bad or
Really bad.
really bad?
That broke your heart, that you said, you know, this is the moment, this is a change. You know. And I know what.
I think the children of Syria is the most devastating facts happening now, because it's not only a human being, it's the future of the country. And I think women who are losing their husbands, their brothers, I think we have lost a lot of men. This is also put the women in a very difficult situation. Women of Syria are not really empowered, they lack experience, they lack the life experience, and yet they are now facing the most difficult change to run the house, to help the children to move. They are refugees, they are displaced, they don't have the money, they are under poverty line, and they have to face it all by themselves. I think this is very difficult. I mean, the future of Syria, of course, will depend on this woman. So I think the best investment is to invest in this woman, to help them not only to be an empowered human being, but also to save the future of Syria by saving their children.
Women are resilient. At any situation, women are still trying to put together a life normalcy, whatever it takes, however it takes. You were underground. How did that incredible experience of being underground in South Africa help you to be the incredible leader you are and to support the women in South Africa after you put down? Of course, you were not carrying any gun, but you were in the resistance. How did that experience help you?
Thank you so much, and I want to thank especially Jessica for this amazing opportunity to be here among you this evening, and also to thank the Coalition Against Trafficking in Women, who also supported me to come here. It's due in large part to the that we have such a wonderful constitution in South Africa, and that I was able as a woman, a black woman, to be the first woman deputy defense minister in a free South Africa. And I wanted to say not only a woman, but also a Quaker and a feminist. So having worked in the underground in the ANC and having been given the opportunity to lead my unit, I felt affirmed as a woman, so that in fact when I was appointed Deputy Defense Minister, I felt I had my leaders, President Mandela, behind the work that I was doing to say we have to transform the military from when South Africa used to attack its neighbors to a defense organization that is involved in making peace on the continent. So just to finish and to tell you where I am now and why I'm working in civil society, we succeeded in South Africa, and again thanks to all of you, and in particular I want to thank Pamela Schiffman, who was my legal advisor as a member of parliament and as chairperson of the Women's Caucus those many years ago, that we're able to pass such good laws. We have a very good law on domestic violence. We have now declared rape in marriage as a crime. But as much as we have been able to pass all these powerful laws in my country, women still live in fear. There's a war on women in my country, where as a woman you can't walk freely in the streets. You know that there's an opportunity that out of every 4 women, you may be the one that gets raped. Our levels of unemployment affect particularly young women. We have a statistic of 1 in 2 women are not employed between the ages of 15 and 35, and this makes them extremely vulnerable. So I felt that with the knowledge and the power and the experience that as a member of parliament I gained through during those many years, I had now the responsibility to go and make these rights a reality in the lives of women. And I want to thank the Noble Foundation because they helped us to be where we are right now. Thank you.
The third incredible activist is Nadia from Afghanistan. Nadia, how are you? What's happening with the girls in Afghanistan?
First of all, I want to thank Donor Direct Action, Jessica, who invited me for this important session. I'm really happy and honored to be among you. I should talk about Afghan women. All of you know that at the moment, the situation of Afghan women are very critical, even more worse than the years before, because we have a rise in the level of violence against women, and in the past 9 months we had more than 4,000 cases of violence registered only, but the ones that are not registered is like hundreds. And we, as working women human rights defenders, we are the ones who are like taking the risk and struggling for women to empower them. And through the help of Donor Direct Action, we are supporting part of our protection center that we have for women violence, victims of violence, and children victims of violence. And beside that, with the legal aid centers that we have in more than 4 provinces of Afghanistan, we are supporting women solving their cases, legal cases that they have. So I really thank for the big support.
That will make a difference. The one wish that will make a difference immediately.
I wish that one day only women, the women who are empowered, can change the situation of women. And no other country can bring this. Only women. And through empowerment of women, we can change the situation of women that we are doing. And we need support and resources for that. Women need really the resources and the support of other women around the world. But they are very strong women, Afghan women are strong, and they can change their situation. They will fight, and we are fighting for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is what leadership looks like.